Okay, NDP 3. Ms. Kwan, would you like to introduce it?
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chair. NDP 3 essentially proposed that the first-time home buyers GST exemption is applied based on the closing date of a home purchase rather than the date of purchase agreement is signed. So the issue that has been brought to my attention from some Canadians is that as more and more Canadians are concerned about affordability, and this would also apply to those who are entering into the housing market for the first time and are relying on the exemption to make home ownership more affordable. The vast majority of the transactions in Canada, the goods and services tax, the GST, is applied at the point when a good or service is actually purchased or delivered. So in the real estate sense, that moment occurs on the closing date when the legal title transfers to the buyer and when payment is complete. So GST is assessed and then paid at that time at the closing date. For pre-construction or delayed closings, buyers often sign agreements months or years before taking ownership. But the GST is not applied until the closing date, highlighting why this is only logical and consistent to apply any GST exemptions at that point as well. Basing the exemption on the purchase of the agreement date creates I believe, several unfair outcomes. It will penalize first-time home buyers for circumstances beyond their control, such as construction delays or market conditions. It contradicts the general tax principle that GST applies at the time of final sale, and it introduces confusion and inequity into a policy designed to provide relief. By tying the exemption to the closing day, the government would align with how GST is typically administered, increase policy transparency, and ensure that first-time homebuyers who are taking legal ownership after the exemption policy is in effect receive the support that they were promised. So this is simply a change that would make a meaningful difference to many Canadians who are trying to secure their first home in a very challenging housing market. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Kwan. For the same reasons that I had deemed the BQ1 inadmissible, because I believe this requires a royal recommendation, I will also be deeming this inadmissible.